Vision News tonight. We do hope you had yourselves a productive Tuesday. Now here's a sneak peek of our edition. On Tuesday, President Paul Kagame and First Lady Jeannette Kagame in Paris, France, joined French President Emmanuel Macron for the official unveiling of a monument honoring the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. The Rwanda Defense Force on Tuesday hosted a delegation of 23 students from the Indian National Defense College at the RDF headquarters as part of their study tour to Rwanda taking place this week. On the international scale, hundreds of families have been displaced in the Indonesian capital of Jakarta after a massive fire swept through a densely populated neighborhood. Once again, we are glad to have your company tonight, coming to you straight from the heart of Africa, Kigali. And I'll bring you to the news tonight is Martina Avera. Now, on Tuesday, President Paul Kagame and First Lady Jeannette Kagame in Paris, France, joined French President Emmanuel Macron for the official unveiling of a monument honoring the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. We have more coming from Adam Squizera.
The monument titled Les Archives was commissioned by the French state in partnership with the city of Paris and the Evoca France, and created by Portuguese-born Quilomba. Comprising two large-scale rectangular structures, Les Archives stands as a permanent site of remembrance and a space of reflection and tribute to the victims of the 1994 genocide against Tutsi. The monument, situated in the center of Paris, along the Esplanade Habib Bourguiba. During this ceremony, President Paul Kagame emphasized that the memorial stands as a powerful symbol of truth, remembrance, and dignity for the victims of the 1994 genocide against Tutsi.
But it will stand as a mark of respect for the dignity of Rwandans and our history. However, to witness the inauguration of such a memorial in a place of honor in the city of Paris is anything but routine. I want to thank the city of Paris and its mayor, Emmanuel Gregoire, as well as the former mayor, Anne Hidalgo, for making this possible.
French President Emmanuel Macron noted that the memorial reflects continued progress in acknowledging historical truth about the genocide against Tutsi and reinforces efforts to comfort, denial, and distortion of history.
La vérité est plus que jamais nécessaire. C'est la condition de la paix.
Now, more than ever, truth is needed, because it is both the means and the foundation of building peace and continuing to listen to the survivors of the genocide against Tutsi.
La parole des survivants.
President Kagame also commended France for steps it has taken in not only acknowledging its historical responsibility, but also strengthening efforts to combat genocide denial.
But none has gone as far as France in setting the record straight and accepting its part in the tragedy. We also appreciate the notable efforts that have been made by France to try genocide perpetrators living here and to criminalize genocide denial. That work must continue.
President Macron reiterated that the French government remains committed to ensuring that anyone implicated in the genocide against Tutsi should be tried.
Personne n'est ni ne sera au-dessus des lois.
No one has ever been, nor will ever be, above the law. Those who believe they can continue to find refuge on our soil should know that French justice system has the means and the responsibility to act. No individual connected to crimes against humanity will escape accountability. Justice will be served. This ceremony was attended by senior government officials from Rwanda and France, members of diplomatic corps, academics, researchers, and other distinguished guests. Adams Kwizera, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Adams, for that report. Now, Rwanda has called for stronger and more practical cooperation between Africa and the Republic of Korea, emphasizing that international partnerships should deliver tangible benefits to citizens across the continent. Enora Gladys has more.
Speaking during the Korea-Africa Foreign Ministers meeting in Seoul, Rwanda's Minister of Foreign Affairs and International Cooperation, Olivier Nduhungirehe, highlighted several priority areas that Rwanda believes can accelerate Africa's development agenda. According to the minister, the partnership between Korea and Africa is closely aligned with the African Union's Agenda 2063, a continental blueprint aimed at achieving sustainable economic growth, industrialization, and prosperity for Africans. One of the key areas emphasized by Rwanda was digital transformation and youth empowerment. Rwanda called for faster implementation of initiatives that strengthen Africa's digital economy and innovation ecosystem, particularly for young people who make up the majority of the continent's population. The minister also pointed to the growing role of artificial intelligence in development, saying AI could become a major catalyst for economic transformation if investments are made in local skills, innovation, and human-centered partnerships. Another major focus was the development of Africa's critical minerals sector. Rwanda welcomed the Korea-Africa Critical Minerals Dialogue and advocated for responsible value chains that promote technology transfer, industrialization, local processing, and job creation rather than simply exporting raw materials. Rwanda further expressed interest in expanding cooperation with Korea in agriculture, healthcare, and climate resilience. Areas of interest include climate-smart agriculture, food security, pharmaceutical manufacturing, and regional health security. On peace and security, Rwanda reaffirmed its commitment to supporting African Union and United Nations peace operations and welcomed Korea's support for initiatives aimed at promoting stability across the continent. However, Rwanda stressed that future cooperation should move beyond declarations and commitments. Minister Nduhungirehe urged partners to establish stronger implementation mechanisms to ensure agreements reached during summits translate into measurable improvements in the lives of ordinary citizens. For Rwanda, the message from Seoul was clear. Partnerships between Africa and global partners must focus on practical outcomes, creating jobs, empowering youth, advancing technology, and supporting sustainable development across the continent. Enora Gladys, RwandaTV News.
The Rwanda Defense Force on Tuesday hosted a delegation of 23 students from the Indian National Defense College at the RDF headquarters as part of their study tour to Rwanda taking place this week. During the visit, the delegation received a comprehensive briefing on the RDF's transformation journey and its contribution to regional peace and security. The presentation highlighted the force's institutional development, professionalization efforts, and significant role in peace support operations and regional security initiatives. On behalf of the Minister of Defense and the RDF Chief of Defense Staff, Brigadier General Patrick Karuretwa, Director General of International Military Cooperation at the Ministry of Defense, welcomed the delegation to Rwanda and reflected on the growing ties between Rwanda and India, particularly in the area of defense. He also underscored the shared commitment of both countries to peace, security, and development. Brigadier General Karuretwa commended India as a valued partner in military education and training, noting that a number of Rwanda Defense Force officers have benefited from courses and professional development opportunities offered by Indian military institutions. Speaking on behalf of the delegation, Brigadier General Imtiaz Ahmed Khan thanked the RDF for its warm hospitality and the highly informative visit. He expressed appreciation for the insightful briefing on the RDF's transformation journey, its international cooperation efforts, and the various initiatives undertaken to strengthen its capabilities. He noted that the exchange reflected the mutual respect, professionalism, and strong relationship between the two defense forces. As part of their study tour, the delegation also visited the Kigali Genocide Memorial on Monday to pay tribute to the victims of the 1994 genocide against the Tutsi. They also toured the Campaign Against Genocide Museum. Investors and economic experts have raised concerns over the prolonged underutilization of land designated for industrial development, warning that it deprives the country of investment opportunities, industrial output, and job creation. Their concerns follow findings by the Auditor General's 2024-2025 report, which revealed that more than 11 hectares of industrial land valued at 541.2 million Rwandan francs had been allocated to 11 investors who failed to establish factories within the required 18-month period. In some cases, the land has remained underdeveloped for over 100 months. Entrepreneur James Kenny Nyonguru says he sought space within an industrial park but was informed that the available plots had already been allocated, forcing him to set up operations elsewhere despite his preference to invest in the designated industrial zone. Presenting the findings to Parliament, Auditor General Alexis Kamuhire highlighted the need for stronger enforcement measures to ensure industrial land is developed within agreed timelines. The Ministry of Trade and Industry acknowledges the challenges and says it is closely monitoring the situation. According to Christian Twahirwa, Director General in charge of Industry Development and Entrepreneurship, investors must fulfill specific obligations before land ownership can be fully transferred. The report further indicates that 14 investors have yet to settle more than 227 million Rwandan francs owed to Minicom, agreements signed when the land was allocated. An audit conducted in January 2026 found out that some of these outstanding obligations have remained unresolved for periods ranging from 1 to 15 years. Despite the setbacks, Rwanda's industrial sector continues to register positive growth. Under the second national strategy for transformation, industrial growth reached 11%, surpassing the 9.5% target set for 2025. Currently, 320 factories have been established across the country, with 70% reported to the operating effectively. According to John Mugisha, chairperson of the Institute of Real Property Values in Rwanda, leaving industrial land idle carries a significant economic cost as it delays production, limits investment returns, and denies employment opportunities that would otherwise contribute to national development.
It's an issue because the government acquires land from private owners but through expropriation, so the government already pays a lot and puts their infrastructure, roads and water to facilitate industrial development. If the investors do not develop the land accordingly, the government loses a lot in terms of the expected jobs to be created by those industries, the taxes that are supposed to be paid, but also the reduction of importation of goods from outside the country. So that is, those objectives are not achieved. So the longer it takes to develop the land, the more losses the government makes. And I think there is need to facilitate the investors to develop the land. And if they fail to develop with all the facilitation and subsidies, the government should give this land to other potential investors to develop the land.
Moving ahead, the head of Teacher Development, Management and Career Guidance and Counseling at the Rwanda Basic Education Board, Leon Mugenzi, has told RBA that collaboration with various institutions has helped address the gap left by more than 800 school head teachers who were reassigned after failing an assessment that was intended to evaluate the competencies of school leaders across the country.
School leaders who have been demoted and being now teachers after assessment we conducted, those school leaders are now in place, in teaching position, but also we have acting school leaders now. Acting school leaders who are in place, and they are doing their best so that they contribute to improve the education quality for students. Whatever we are planning to do in our education sector is improving learning outcomes.
REB is also doing everything possible to permanently fill positions for school leaders and recruit new teachers so that the 2026-2027 academic year can begin without any shortages of teachers or school administrators.
We are very proud as the Minister of Education that we are at the end of the academic year, and teachers, school leaders are well equipped and active for this end of the academic year. We are very happy that we have already started the process of the recruitment of new teachers and the school leaders. We started this last March this year, advertising different positions, teaching position and administrative position. And for now, we have started already the recruitment process, the test, the exam. Since yesterday, we started administrating different teaching and administrative position in different districts. Right now, what we are planning to do is after the administration of the exam on 9th June, because we started yesterday on 1st, and we are planning to end 9th June this year. And on 15th June, we have also another plan to start teacher transfers, because as you are aware, teachers, school leaders always ask for transfers from one school to another school, one district to another district. So we have already put in place the plan, and that plan is on our website, as a REP's website, so that the teachers can have this plan. And the transfer of teachers and administrative staff we end on 15th July. So after that, we will start immediately the placement of new teachers and administrative staff, yes, including school leaders. So we have to announce that in our plan, before the start of new academic year in September, in August, we have all teachers and school leaders in place. And we would like to inform the public that the new teachers and the school leaders will have their appointment letters in August instead of having the appointment letters in September.
The Rwanda Basic Education Board is also calling on all educators to support students, including those preparing for national examinations, so that they can be able to achieve satisfactory results. And on that note, on behalf of the news production team and the technical team, thank you for sticking with us here on RTV News. My name is Martina Abera, and until next time, stay safe and have a good night.